The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are obviously the reigning Super Bowl champions. Congratulations, Tampa. You have done it once again. We move on to 2021, and y'all brought back all 22 of your starters from the championship team. Now, we've started this off every single time with who is the toughest game in the schedule. It's most of the time been the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but listen, the Bucs can't play themselves, so they have Vegas, that is, has the Buffalo Bills in Week 14 as their most difficult game on the schedule. That is a home game. Do you agree with that the Bills are the toughest game on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers schedule? Also, can we just look at how unfair it is for a reigning champion with all 22 guys coming back to have the 29th ranked strength of schedule? What sense does that make? I thought division winners were supposed to have it more difficult.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, the whole NFL breathed the collective, like all the NFL community breathed the collective sigh of relief when Tom Brady left New England, you know, because the evil empire is ending, all right? We can move on, all right? We can
He
get
just goes
new
and
guys.
starts a new one.
He just starts a new one, man. So I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. 10 years from now, he's going to go to freaking Cincinnati and win 3 Super Bowls there. So it is what it is, man. Tom Brady never dies. But yeah, I think if we can't pick the Buccaneers, we have to pick the Buffalo Bills. I think that is comfortably the hardest game. You can maybe pick the Rams at the Rams. That's a pretty tough one too. But looking at the overall team strength and also Josh Allen, he was a top 5 quarterback last year. I think looking at the talent comparison, Brady and Allen, very different quarterbacks. I think it's going to be very exciting to see how they match up against one another. And the Bills, we've talked about it before. I mean, they were right on the doorstep last year, man. They were right there. They brought back Brian Dable. They added some talent in the draft. I think they can really be looking to take the next step and maybe make that final game. So this will be a good one for them. Week 14 versus the Bills to see if they can match up with the Buccaneers. But the Buccaneers, it'll definitely be the toughest test of their schedule, I think.
Yeah, I think the Bills are a very good candidate. I also like the Rams in Week 3. I mean, it's an East Coast team, Tampa Bay, that has to go all the way out to the West Coast and play a game in LA. It's going to be a 425 game. And I think that it's going to be their toughest kind of matchup, depending on what that Rams defense is able to replicate from the Brandon Staley days, because this was a team that did a lot of things on the back end. They obviously lost John Johnson. They lost Troy Hill. It'll be interesting to see how that secondary matches up against what is one of the top 3 or so wide receiver duos in the NFL, and with some of the best offensive weapons in the NFL, when you also add in all of those tight ends that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are able to put out on the field. I think that's the most difficult game on their schedule outside of the Bills game. For me, the game that I'm circling the most, here we go again. It's Week 1. It's to start the NFL season. It's the Dallas Cowboys. This is not me being a Cowboys homer. I promise you it is not. It is about this team that has brought back all of their starters. It is about the Dak Prescott return from the broken ankle. It is about this defense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that secondary of just a bunch of names of guys who have performed or kind of outperformed their draft slots. They've been very, very good there against probably the best trio of wide receivers in the NFL in CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Amari Cooper. It's going to be so much fun to kick off the NFL season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm itching. You know, I like to rag on Dalton, but honestly, the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, that is a good matchup. I mean, you look at that receiving core for the Cowboys going up against the Buccaneers secondary with Sean Murphy, Bunting, Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield. I mean, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one, and I'm very excited to see that. And Cowboys, that offense is good enough, man. If they're healthy, if that offensive line is healthy, they are good enough to make that a game. So I'm very excited to see what they do there. Another game I think that would be a must-watch for me. It's tough, man. It's tough because they're the Buccaneers, right? So, and a lot of they have the 29th easy, or the 30th easiest, 29th hardest schedule. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these games are not going to be very tough. Honestly, I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'm not even going to pick a must-watch game. My must-watch game would probably be the Bills, right? But we've already talked about the Bills. I'm going to move on.
The Bills are it.
The Bills are it. Yeah. So
Go to the most
I'm
pivotal
going to
game.
go on to my most defining game because I feel like that we can talk a little bit more about that. We've already gone over the Bills, but I think the most defining game for the Buccaneers. And again, I mean, what do you pick for a team that is basically widely expected to be the 1 seed in the NFC? I mean, what do you pick, right? I think that for me, like, because what you want to look at when you're talking about a team like that is what teams might challenge for that, take that bye week in the playoffs away from you. Like maybe the Rams, right? But I'm not sure the Rams are quite that good to get the 1 seed. Maybe the Cowboys, but that defense, I don't think they're there yet. I think they can win the NFC East easily, but a 1 seed, Dalton's shaking his head. Nah. So I don't know, man. I'm looking at the Saints probably as my most defining game, but even that, the implications are low. I mean, if you're the Buccaneers, you have the talent, you have Tom Brady. All you need to do is take care of business. As long as you beat your divisional opponents, take care of business there. I think they could easily go 6-0 in the division. Maybe the Saints challenge, but we don't know what's going to happen at quarterback for them. We don't know. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But when you're the Buccaneers, the fact of the matter, like at least in the AFC, the Chiefs have the Browns and the Bills, kind of diluting it, kind of providing some challenge. Who do you have in the NFC that can definitively challenge the Buccaneers for that top spot? I'm hesitant to kind of tab anyone. So I think as long as they get out of division play with a 5-1 or 6-0 record, they're sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think the only team I could really think of is the Packers in the NFC. I would also like to add the Ravens in the AFC as a possible, top contender. But the AFC is it's more top heavy than the NFC. The NFC really has the Bucs and then the Packers if Aaron Rodgers sticks around. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't stick around, it changes the complexion of the NFL because you really do look at this and say, they might be looking to lock up, not by the numbers, but relatively, because they finished the season with the Panthers, the Jets, and then the Panthers again. So you expect them to win those 3 football games. Yeah. Or be able to at least rest their starters for the 1 seed in at least the last Panthers game. And so for me, it's that last Saints game. If they're able to win that game, they're able to kind of lock in that number 1 seed and get that bye, because guys, you don't get the bye if you're a 2 seed anymore. That number 1 seed is more important than it has ever been in the NFL playoffs. But Bucs fans, let us know in the comments, what do you think is the most difficult game of the season? Which one do you have circled as the must-watch game of the season? Why is it the Dallas Cowboys? And what is the defining game of the season, in your opinion? And listen, do any of you crazy Bucs fans think that they can actually go 17-0? I want to see you put your name on it on YouTube. Let us know in the comments.